Hey, this is Will. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you how you can start an online course completely for free. And not only that, but on top of that, you actually can build out amazing funnels for your courses and a bunch of very useful tips. So I'm going to explain some of the things that you really need to understand if you're going to go this way and why I actually think that you should. By the way, I will leave links to everything I mentioned in the description, and I have some very useful freebies, so make sure to check out all of the links for that in the description as well. And every single week I give out one of my courses completely for free. So if you're listening to this as a podcast, take the title, put it on YouTube, find the video, make sure to press the thumbs up button and leave a comment to enter the competition. Aside from that, also check out my social media, check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter, all that good stuff. Now let's jump into it. So usually when we talk about online courses, we have the usual suspects, which is Podia, Teachable, Thinkific, and there's nothing wrong with these platforms, but what I'm talking about, and by the way, Thinkific does have a free plan. However, I'm actually not talking about Thinkific here. There is another software out there that has completely free plan to start out with as well. So what I'm talking about here is the software called System, and they, in essence, I would say they are actually more of a sales funnel builder. However, as you can see right here, if you're listening to this as a podcast, I am showing some of this stuff in the video. You can actually build online courses on this platform as well. If you look at their plans, you will actually see that they do have completely free plan. As you can see here, you can create, there are some limitations. You can create only one course, and there's limitations also on how many sales funnels you create, steps, so on and so forth. And I'm going to talk about this in a second. But in general, you don't really have that many limitations. You just have some limitations in terms of what exact numbers of certain things you can do, but you pretty much have all of the different features, which is something you don't really have in the other softwares. By the way, on top of that, I do have some special discounts if you want to upgrade your plan, so definitely check out the link. By the way, full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, but I definitely think this is a great option for a lot of people, so I wouldn't recommend it if I don't think the software makes sense to you. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. I just get a little commission, so just a little thank you for me informing you about the software. So if you go on Thinkific, as you can see, they do have a free plan as well. However, with their free plan, you will notice that they do have some restrictions on certain things that you can or you can't do. And for example, a huge thing of that is you don't have an affiliate program on the free plan. Actually, for other softwares, you only get affiliate features for their, not even the beginner plan, but basically their more advanced intermediate plan. With Thinkific, you do get it from the beginner paid plan, but with System, you actually even get the affiliates with completely free plan, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. So I ain't gonna lie, as I mentioned, System is a software that initially was created as a sales funnel software, and then they added the courses. So honestly, if you want to concentrate on your user experience, on what your customers, your students, people who enroll in your course, what their experience is going to be, you do have some additional features on Thinkific, Teachable, and Podia. And I made another episode where I talk all about comparing all of those softwares, which one makes most sense. And I will leave some special links for those softwares as well. They're great options. I do recommend those options. And if you want, for example, to have some, let's say, quizzes. You want to perhaps not let people to proceed to from one lesson to the other unless they, finish the first one. All of these sort of extra elements, those honestly, they're not going to, at least at the time of I recording this, they're not available on Systeme. However, for vast majority of the people, I don't think you will need all of these different little things, at least at the beginning for your course. But why I was saying that there are some important things to understand about Systeme is because it's sort of, you have your Podius, you have Thinkific, you have Teachable, all of that. And then on the other hand, you do have some softwares like Kartra that are sort of all-in-one softwares, and you can have your online courses there as well, but the price tag is much, much higher. And Systeme is actually that software as Kartra, but instead of paying $100 a month to start out with, here you can start out for completely nothing. So you can go through all of these different features. I'm not going to go one by one. I'll tell you a couple of things that you need to consider, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to understand whether this is better for you or something like Podia is better. But as you can see, you have all of these different features. You have sales funnels, you have email marketing already integrated, the online courses, website builders, affiliate program, marketing automations. So as you can see, basically, if you would go separately and basically have all of these different features, you would need separate softwares, and definitely that's what you can do. You can get Podia and you can attach an email marketing software, for example, and then you will have these two softwares. So what you're seeing here is basically that they have everything in total. So you're going to basically just save up, as they say, save at least $320 per month. But there are a couple of specific things as well when it comes to online courses that I want to mention here. So first thing that is super, super powerful, if you come to Systeme, you will see that here they have these automation features. So you have your sales funnels features, you have your automation features, and this is super powerful because with other online course softwares, you pretty much can usually you just have an order bump, which is basically you can offer a special offer when someone is checking out, and you can have an upsell. So when someone adds something, then they will get an upsell feature. However, here you can create a lot more automations, and believe me, that can make such a huge difference in your business and can generate you so much more revenue. So as you can see here, for example, you can choose a trigger, and based on certain actions, you can put people in different automations. So for example, let's say they also have webinar software, which not all of the online course softwares do, but let's say someone enrolls in a course, you can choose someone enrolled in a course, or let's say someone purchased, maybe you have some sort of little offer aside from your course. You even can have features like an email link has been clicked, which is definitely Teachable, Thinkific, none of these softwares really have that. You can have page visited, specific page visited. You have all of these different triggers when someone performs a certain action on your landing pages within your course and all of that, and then what you want to do. So again, you can put them in different lists. If you will want to target them in a certain way, you can subscribe them to certain email campaigns, send out specific emails, so on and so forth. And another thing that's super, super important is, so you can build out your sales funnel. So if you don't know what it means, that's basically taking different steps within your whole sales process. And the cool thing here is, so as I mentioned, sort of you can set up all of the different automation rules, but what's even more cool is you can do A/B testing. So for example, let's say for your course, or even before course, you have an opt-in page where someone, you let's say give out a freebie and someone signs up for your list, or your sales page for the actual course. You can actually create two different variations, and believe me, it might not seem a lot, but sometimes if you just change a little bit, just the color, or usually maybe let's say just the tagline, that can make a massive difference on your conversion rates. And on the course platforms that I mentioned, like Teachable, Thinkific, so on and so forth, you basically just have to guess these things. But here you can actually create A/B tests and you can see which one performs better. So I can't emphasize enough how important these things are, these automations, A/B testing, all of that. And usually you need to use a sales funnel builder for that. And those sales funnel builders are usually $100 per month, like Kartra. So I'm not saying Kartra isn't great. Kartra is great. And with Kartra, actually, you can do a little bit more than with this software. So if you want, you can definitely go for Kartra. It makes sense to invest some money, but if you don't want to spend that $100 per month, then this is an amazing option and you will get so much more in terms of your marketing means compared to the usual online course softwares. And another thing I wanted to also mention to take into consideration is, so usually, let me actually show you when you're building out a lecture page on, let's say we have Podia here. So with Podia, and by the way, I do love the design of Podia and all of that. I do love these other softwares as well. But basically, let's say you have your content page. So you can upload a video, and then with the content page, you basically have the simple sort of, you can put in text, you can put in image, but it's just a very basic page. And this is the case with all of the different softwares. With Teachable, Thinkific, it's pretty much like that. Just a very basic way of how you can visually construct your lessons. When it comes to System, it's a little bit more advanced, and this is what I like quite a lot about this. This is why I wanted to really mention this. So in here, you basically have the landing page builder. You can use that for your lectures. So you can add your video as it is, but then basically I can add here title, I can change, adjust to make this look however I want. I can add, as you can see, different elements. So I have a picture maybe on the right, I have the text, I have the icons next to the text. I can add all of these different elements. So I can choose if I want more columns. I can add some buttons, call to action. As you can see here, you can create a really nice sort of reference library, so on and so forth. And you can really adjust the design. If I want, let's say the background, I can change and, you know, have a different color for the background, so on and so forth. So this for me is very, very powerful because, okay, it depends how exactly you want to go about this, but the fact that I can create my lectures instead of just plain boring text and that's it, I can create a nice, beautiful, basically almost like a landing page, like a nice blog sort of article. That for me is a pretty huge thing. And by the way, you also have some blocks. So if you want, you can choose some of these pre-made templates as well. And that's a huge, huge, huge thing. So you do have these tools when it comes to building out the actual landing pages on, let's say, Podia, Thinkific, Teachable. However, even though you can build out those landing pages, and I do like the design that they offer, actually, I like the design quite a bit. On a tool like this, you do, because it is a landing page slash sales funnel builder to begin with, you definitely have more features, you have more templates when it comes to building out the actual pages. And another cool thing about this is that, as I mentioned, it's completely free to start with, but even later on, if you want to upgrade, so as you can see, the startup, so the next plan is $27 per month. And here now you can have 5 courses, you can have a bunch of sales funnels, you can have a bunch of sales funnel steps, so on and so forth. And honestly, I think for most of the people, this is going to be quite enough to start out with. And when I compare this, it's still only $27 a month, and all of the other softwares, they are at least $40 per month to start out with. So this is still cheaper. Their webinar plan, that is $47, and with this, as you can see, you get 10,000 contacts and you get 20 courses, so on and so forth. So this is, when it comes to price, this is really unbeatable. The price is just insanely cheap, and for $100, which is basically what Kartra starts off with, you get unlimited everything. And obviously there are some pluses and minuses, as I mentioned. I don't want to say that this is just the best software. Obviously there are some downsides, but also, by the way, if you do choose 12 months, you do get 30% discount on top of that. So it's insanely cheap. So I'm talking about this tool because I discovered it, and I think it's an amazing way to host your online courses, especially if you're just starting out. And again, I don't want to say that this is definitely the best tool. As I mentioned, there are some downsides, like if you look at Podia, Teachable, Thinkific, you definitely have a few features if you want to actually make your student user experience next level. However, here you also do have that landing page builder within your lectures, which is absolutely amazing. And when it comes to automations and building out a little bit more of your actual pages, you do have more features with Kartra as well. So I'm not saying this is the best tool out there. If you want, I definitely suggest you invest some money and get something like Kartra as well, because it is amazing. But if you're just starting out and you want to start out for free, I think this is probably the best option out there. And also, if you don't want to spend that ton of money, for the money that you spend, the value, I think, is also the best out there. So I hope you found this useful. Hopefully it will help you out if you're starting out and you're looking for a good tool. As I mentioned, I do have some special discounts, so check out the links in the description, and I do have some freebies, so also check out all of that is going to be in the description. Make sure to follow my social media, check out my Instagram, my Twitter. If you have any questions, if you're listening to this podcast, again, take the title, put it on YouTube, find the video, leave your questions in the comment section. If you found this useful, make sure to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, put on those notifications. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.